Among the many flavors of thieves, the pickpocket holds a quirky spot in the public eye. Not aggressive enough to be a mugger or stick-up man, still brash enough to invade your personal space. He is part magician, part sociologist, and if he's honest, he can actually learn some good brain science from a good cannon, as they are known. But where would you find such a gentleman thief? Well, Las Vegas, actually. His name is Apollo Robbins, and he dropped by my office to show us the art of the pluck. If you ever happen across a man named Apollo Robbins, chances are he'll ask to show you a few magic tricks.
If you move it, you can make it look like it flies across.
With his kind eyes and likable banter, he'll seduce his way into your personal space.
Watch it close, use your hand.
And with hands of lightning, he'll move coins from your hand to your shoulder with dazzling ease. But what he's really doing is stealing your stuff. Your watch.
You have to watch close, Mark. This trick's more about the timing.
Your wallet. Your phone. Because Apollo Robbins is a close-up magician who just happens to be the world's greatest pickpocket. That we know of. There are certainly other masters out there, but this guy is the rare thief who makes a living by stealing your stuff and always giving it back.
Thank you very much.
Did you ever steal for real?
I shoplifted a bit as a kid. One time in particular, some friends asked me to steal some cigarettes for them, and the shopkeeper came after me, and the only place I could think that he wouldn't find it is if I put it on him. I saw his apron was open, so I reached around behind my back, took it, and dropped it in his apron.
He discovered his gift growing up in a home where he says he learned scripture from his preacher father and wallet-lifting tricks from his half-brothers. Apollo describes how they would target marks at the zoo, using monkeys or snakes as diversions.
And as they were looking over the rails, my brothers would go around and they would actually use a blade to cut the pockets, to push down a wallet or to cut buttons off, and usually steal from bags that people were unattending to. It was quite a conflict between that and my father being a minister, and wanted me to go a different way, so I got to see both sides of that.
And you went to the light, you went to the good side. Why?
Yeah, well, it was either this or politics. I decided which one would be the most honest.
But despite his honest core, he still held a passion for the dark arts of grifters and card sharps and pickpocket teams.
You have the wire, the stick, the shade, the steer.
And so he developed an act and moved to Vegas, where Caesar's Palace paid him to entertain hundreds of guests a night this way. It was like pickpocket college. And one night he even got a crack at President Jimmy Carter.
And I pickpocketed his team of Secret Service agents and took their credentials and the itinerary where they're taking Carter to and the keys to the motorcade.
After that, he began getting calls from law enforcement types and neuroscientists and TV producers who helped him create brain games on Nat Geo.
Wow.
All of them hungry for insight into the science of diversion.
If you look at your two fingers and you look back and forth, you're doing what's called a saccadic eye movement, A and B. But you're actually imagining everything you see in between. You're actually blind when you look in between your two fingers, and your mind is filling in that space.
Wow.
And it only uses the front lobe of your brain.
And you work in that space.
I take advantage of those kind of little shortcuts, but that moves very fast. But then the other one, when you do this motion, is called a smooth pursuit. It's like hunting, and you track it, and you're using more parts of your brain.
He knows that when a human mind is concentrating on movement, it misses even aggressive stimulus like someone unclasping your watch. Take another look. The magic is just an excuse to touch the mark. A less noble pickpocket would probably just snatch it off your wrist in a crowd. Or use a revolving door to grab your wallet.
Can I see that for a second?
Or reach into your open purse on a crowded bus.
I carry my wallet here. I don't know, is that more vulnerable than if I put it somewhere else?
The different pockets have different names. So this right here is considered your kick, your front pocket.
Kick.
And the back ones are considered your bridge.
All right.
This is your pit, because it's close to your armpit. This one they call a fob, which is kind of a ticket pocket, and it's anything like this. Now, yours, if everything was inside, is easy to steal.
So zip your purse, Apollo says, and know that those earbuds tell a thief exactly where you keep your expensive phone. And if you're in a sketchy neighborhood, he says put your wallet in an empty paper coffee cup. Buddy says the best kind of self-defense is the knowledge that you're always vulnerable to a thief with the right skills.
If someone knows that they are capable of being a victim, it actually makes them a lot more difficult to steal from.
So you want somebody who's brimming with confidence that I could never be taken.
There are two types of people in the world. There are marks, and there are people that will pay money to find out that they're a mark.
And you can see more of Apollo tomorrow night, Friday, July 12th, in Brain Games on the National Geographic Channel. Yeah, it's still there.